All right, your favorite twin flames are back in the building, here to talk about love and relationships and emotional healing once again. And for you guys that don't know about twin flames, if you don't know about twin flames, you better get on it, because twin flame effects are happening right now.
It sure is.
And first and foremost, this is my bestie.
Hey, y'all.
And not only is she a bestie, not only is she my bestie, she's also a twin flame. She's my twin flame.
Yes. And sometimes she try to share me with the world.
Yeah,
and, I don't mind.
They say I gotta share you now.
Yeah, but I'm sharing you too. So we both in this together.
We in this together, boo.
All right. So how you feeling today?
I'm good, but let me tell them what a twin flame is, because they gotta know.
Okay. And let them know that we both are nurses.
Yeah, we're both registered nurses. Mm-hmm. But for those that don't know, a twin flame is an energy that used to exist back in the day, reincarnated, came back, split into two energies, because the energy used to be really, really strong, came back as two energies, and now you serve the purpose of learning a lot of life lessons. Not only do you have to learn life lessons, but you also have a big mission to do.
You sure do.
And we have a big mission. Tell them what our mission is, Kish.
To have everyone win. Yep. We have been ordained to help everyone win. Every soul deserves to win. God wants everyone to win. And whoever wants to listen and gather the tools from us, you are destined to win. So that's what we're here for.
Exactly. And help raise the vibration and heal the world, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, man, we got a lot going on today. And we wanted to teach people about love and healing.
Definitely.
And through that, people have to understand the process of shadow work. So I know that we have talked about shadow work several times on our show.
Mm-hmm.
And shadow work is not an easy process.
No.
Y'all gonna hear me say that multiple times. Shadow work is not easy by far. Mm-mm. And how dare I say it, but not show you?
Exactly.
So we're gonna do it today. We're gonna do it today. We're gonna show y'all.
So how we gonna do this?
We got a special guest coming on the show. Yeah, we got a special guest coming on the show who was brave enough to actually share her experience. And, we say that we do some life coaching. So this is what this is all about. We're going to show you guys what life coaching, our intuitive life coaching, is all about. So we want to welcome everybody to the show. Our special guest, Miss Sparkle. Sparkle, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, sweetie pie. You looking so beautiful today.
She is.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank
you for having me.
And you welcome.
Absolutely. So, thank you for being so brave, Sparkle, because it's not easy to share, some of your experiences, but it was quite interesting. And I wanted to tell everybody how this happened, because I actually was on TikTok. And for those that don't know, I actually manage the TikTok page. And if you haven't found us, go on Truth Be Told Conversations now on TikTok, because we got a good clips on there. We got some good clips on there, and we're going to be doing some more. We want to share some more about our intuitive gifts and how we can help you through your healing process. So find us right now at Truth Be Told Conversations. But with that being said, I found Sparkle. She had posted something on TikTok that caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And she had mentioned that she was going to walk away from her job, and that she was getting an intuitive message from God, and felt like it was time for a change. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I need to pivot. So I don't know if I'm getting messages. I don't know. So
yeah. And there's a lot of people out here that are going through the same experience. And I felt like, man, this would be like a perfect opportunity to take somebody like you, who would be a great example to the world, where we can show people how we can help you navigate through your life, and take some of these messages that God is showing you and really start bringing it to light, so that way we can put you on the right track into finding your life's purpose. So welcome again to the show. We're so happy to have you here. So
thank you for having me.
Yeah. So first and foremost, what exactly, tell us a little bit more about first of all, what it is that you do, and a little bit about yourself.
So, I've been with my organization for 15 years now. I'm in the public health field.
Okay.
It was a career that I accidentally got into. So I graduated from college with a graphic design degree.
Okay.
So how I got into the public health field was through a mutual friend. She was putting together a team, and she interviewed me. I did well. She thought I was a good fit, and she hired me, and I was been with the organization ever since. So that's how I got into public health. Totally the opposite spectrum of what I studied.
Right. So that's interesting. And then
Yes.
also tell everybody where you're from.
So I'm from New York City, specifically from Brooklyn. So
Brooklyn!
Brooklyn in the house.
Okay, that's my hometown too.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
tell me about your family life. Are you married, single?
So yes, so I have I have a husband, and we have 3 kids together. Like, we've known each other since like high school, so we've known each other for a good while. So we've moved in together like years ago, and we've developed a really tight bond, a really tight relationship over the years since high school. So, and now we have 3 beautiful children.
Do you mind me asking, okay, because it's like doing a bid. How many years together? How many years married?
Okay. So we've known each other since high school. We dated a little bit, and then we took a long break. So I guess like starting from 2007, we reconnected, and we've
Okay.
been together since then.
And how many years have you been married?
Well, we're technically not married
Okay,
yet, but I call him my husband because
Okay.
we've been together for so long.
Okay,
So,
sounds.
yeah.
And how old are the kids?
So I have a 4.5-year-old, 3-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old. Going to be 2 in a couple of weeks.
Ooh, child.
Sparkle, how do you look like that with them small kids? Girl,
Listen.
God bless you. They're all under the age of 5.
Listen, the house is in chaos. I try. I try.
Well,
I try
God
to stay
bless
young.
you. God bless you.
Thank you.
So with that being said, I do want to delve into what actually inspired you to put out that social media post. Tell me, what was it all about?
Yeah, so for the last couple of years, well, it's been going on for a while now, that I wanted to go back to my creative side. Like, I've been, talking to my friends, my husband, I've been telling them this for years now. Like, I want to go back to, being, creative, like what I'm good at. Like, my father's always telling me, like, you need to go back to, art, or become a teacher and teach kids how to draw, or something creative. So it was that. I also wanted to start a business, just anything to be creative. So I guess once having children, like, I always wanted to have children, and finally, God blessed me with 3 beautiful children. But then there was still something inside of me that felt like empty, or like I still felt unfulfilled. So I feel that my career, like, I haven't accomplished what I wanted to accomplish career wise. So in the last couple of years, I just had this like thing. I'm just like, "Ugh, I got to get out of my job. I need to pivot. I want to go back to being creative. Like, I need to feel like doing something meaningful, for myself."
Mm-hmm.
So in the last couple of months, I've been just going through the emotions. I just been having like a really, difficult time lately, and I feel that I'm at a time out in my life where I need to pivot. So that's why I ended up, posting, what I posted on
Okay.
TikTok, hoping to, connect with people that are going through the same thing. And yeah, so I was hoping to, help someone out there or connect with people that are going through
And you
what I'm
definitely
going
are.
through.
So I commend you
are.
for even taking
Mm-hmm.
that leap and doing that
Mm-hmm.
because you're doing it for the greater good. So
Yes.
I congratulate you.
Indeed.
Thank
I
you.
just
Thank
wanted
you.
to let everybody know that Kisha and I, we like to do a pre-interview process with all of our clients. So we did actually speak with Sparkle briefly just to prepare for this counseling session. We didn't delve into it because obviously we wanted this to be as organic as possible. But we wanted to get just a little background so that way intuitively we can pick up on some things about Sparkle, which we have. But with that being said, we have picked up again on some things, but for the sake of privacy, we are not going to divulge on everything, and we will share some aspects of it with her offline.
Mhm.
But we do wanted the world to know that we have had the opportunity to kind of prepare for this process.
Definitely.
So yeah,
Sidebar. So your team, so to rewind it, when Janine says intuitive life coaching, that means that we connect with the other side.
yeah,
We connect with your spiritual team, our spiritual team, and we get messages. So I got messages in the shower this morning. I'm like, your team has been talking to
Oh,
me for the
wow.
since we had the pre-interview.
since we did, yeah,
We've been getting
Yes.
messages from your
even
spiritual
before
team.
the pre-interview,
Yes.
yeah,
So
Wow.
so that's what we actually do. We connect with the other side,
yeah,
and this is loving. We're not here to embarrass anyone who decides to do this. And what we do in the pre-interview, just for the audience to know, is that we ask our clients and we asked Sparkle, what was she willing to share with the world and what was she not? So that's why certain messages that we have for her is going to be private.
yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. So I wanted to say this to you. I found it really interesting that your name is Sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, it's a beautiful name
It is.
to match
Thank
a very
you.
beautiful personality. And you have such a gentle and radiant spirit that you give off. And who named you?
Thank
Where
you.
did you get that name, Sparkle?
So actually my dad named me. So I don't know, I'm pretty sure you know the movie
Yes.
Sparkle. It was like, yes, from back in the 70s.
Kind of look like that
And
lady in the movie. You kind of look like the
so
girl.
that I get that a lot. I'm like, really? I look like the I forgot her name,
Yeah, I forgot
the
her name
star of
too.
the movie. But
I'm a
yeah,
chat
so my dad
GTP it
named me
real
after the
quick.
movie. Yes. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, so my dad named me after the movie because he was like in love with the actress, thought it was, she was so beautiful. So that's who he named me
And I
after.
think that movie came out in the 70s or
Mm-hmm.
80s.
This
Again, the
Yeah, it was,
70s.
I think it was in the
70s.
70s,
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Both of
And
us.
then there was a remake with Whitney
Yes.
Houston.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Hmm.
like that one too. That one was
Yeah.
cool.
Y'all know I
Yeah,
gotta
that one was good.
chat
She
GTP it
looking up.
real quick. I feel silly because we got people yelling at the screen right now, like it's such and
Yeah.
such.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all, they gonna get on us.
Whitney Houston,
No,
Jordan
no.
Sparks version,
You want the
Yeah, that's the
and
remake.
wait,
something Cara. I saw it right there.
where's that? Irene Cara, that's her name.
Is that
No,
her?
Yes, that's
Irene
Irene,
her.
Cara.
Hmm.
Irene Cara. That's
Yes. Yes.
Yes, that's her.
Mhm. I
yeah.
think she was on Fame. Don't quote me, but that's a show back in the day.
Yes, she was on the.
I
She
think so
was.
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
She was. She was.
And it's funny because when I thought about you the other day and preparing for this show, I was like, wow, for her parents to call her Sparkle. When I tell you all of this sensation came over my body, and I was like, wow, that means that your family, you are a special person just to have that name. And
Indeed.
you carry big weight having
Oh.
that name.
Indeed. But
Oh yes, I gotta live up to my name.
You can't be a bitch talking about I'm not named Sparkle.
I can no,
You gotta sparkle everywhere you go.
I gotta sparkle, yup.
But I will say, when I did see your social media post, you did have an energy over you. So I did see a sense of fear, and then some level of depression over you. So that was the first thing that I did notice about it.
Yes.
What was going on with you. So again, that was why I felt like you would be a good candidate, while we could dig a little bit deeper. So with that being said, Sparkle, tell me some of your stressors in your life. What's happening around you? What's going on at home?
So, yeah, just a few things going on. My job is like one big stressor that I have going on right now. Trying to have that family balance,
Yeah.
as well. For a while, my husband, he was, traveling back and forth for work for like over a year, and so basically, I was home, with the kids, with all three kids, holding down the household, myself. Like at times, I felt like a single mom.
Yeah.
So, and then after a while, I'm like trying to, keep everything together. I'm trying to keep my insanity intact because, I got three young kids that I gotta, take care of, while my husband, he's traveling, back and forth to work.
Yeah.
At that time. So I don't know if something got triggered, or like I don't know exactly when this type of feeling started happening, but in the last few months, I would say last year around September, I think that's when things started to boil over. Like it was hard for me to get out of bed. I wasn't motivated to do anything. I even had a breakdown at work one time.
Yeah.
Like I cried in front of my colleagues. So I was a mess that day. So I think when I had that breakdown at work, I realized, okay, something is definitely wrong here. Like
Yeah.
I'm breaking down at work. I'm not getting out of bed. I'm not eating. I'm not sleeping. So my boss even noticed that my productivity has gone down, and the 15 years I've been at my job, it's been like every year I get a excellent evaluation from all of my managers. They had nothing bad to say about me. Like they love my work ethics. Like even my friends too, they know my work ethics. So for her to like notice that my productivity has gone down, definitely something is wrong, because you can see, through my track record that, I've always done well at work. So when she mentioned that, and when I started having breakdowns at work, I finally went to seek help. um so from then it does help seeing a therapist, so that really helped me. So I am doing a lot better now from before. I mean, I still have my ups and downs, but yeah, that's for the last few months. It was been rough. Been rough.
Sparkle, let me ask you a question. What is your religion?
I'm Catholic.
Okay. And how is your, on a scale of 1 to 10, or like a grade A, B, C, D, what would you give yourself? What kind of grade would you give yourself as a Catholic? Like your relationship with God. How would you grade yourself?
I would say like a 7.
Okay. Okay, that's not
Like a
bad.
7, 8.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you pray often?
I try to pray as much as I can.
Okay.
I mean, I don't go to church because I just don't have the time. But that was something on my mind. I think maybe going back to church might help me too. But yeah, I talk to God, um, ask him questions, ask my whoever is helping me in the spiritual realm, like trying to get answers to the questions that I have right now, like where should I go, what should I do.
Okay, so that's
So
good. And one of the things I admire about the Catholic faith is that you guys have like angels and saints. Do you utilize them? Like,
Yes.
because certain religions don't believe in like tapping into other things except for Jesus and God. So have you had the opportunity to really tap into the saints and the angels that are connected with Catholics?
Yeah, like when I was younger, they used to teach us all about the different angels and the saints, and there's like certain saints that you would call upon for if you need help with different things.
Who do you use
But
specifically? Out of curiosity, who have you used specifically? I just want to know.
uh Well, I just talked to God. I haven't,
Okay.
called on any
Okay.
saints
Okay.
specifically. Like I just call upon God,
Okay.
my spiritual guides, angels, but specifically not a saint.
Okay, so
Okay.
we'll circle back to that
Yeah,
at
we
the
will.
end, because
Hmm.
that's really
Hmm.
important for you to understand how special it is to be in that religion and having those tools to utilize.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Definitely,
um,
definitely.
how is it being a mother? Like,
Yeah.
because having 3 small kids, do you? I'm gonna ask you, give yourself a grade on being a mother. Like, how do you feel you're managing being a mom?
Um, I think I'm managing pretty well. Except for the last few months, when my husband, when he finally is home now.
Yes.
He kind of took over, the parenting role because, I've been like so overwhelmed and been going through, depression, anxiety. So he pretty much like just took over. Like he gets up when the kids get up, he'll feed them, he'll get them get my son dressed for school. So he's like taking over like the role as soon as he, was home. So
And
I
do
I
you have
feel
a?
that
I'm sorry, go ahead.
mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm trying to manage with all the emotions that I'm going right now and trying to be, the best mother I can be for
Mm-hmm.
them.
And do you have a set
Mhm.
routine with them, or is it basically like day by day you manage it the best way you can?
Yeah, so we typically have a routine. My oldest son, he's in school, so we get up at a certain time at 7 a.m. And once he gets up, then the other two starts to, get up as well. So we get up around 7 a.m., get my son ready for school, sit them down for breakfast, get the other two changed, with their clothes. And then throughout the day, if the weather is good, we take the other two outside, to get some air, and then we wait for my son to get home, and then
Okay.
we have like dinner and then bedtime, and so it's the schedule is pretty much the same like every day.
And when it came to you getting help from your husband, how was that
Mhm.
discussion? Was it like a aha moment where he saw you disintegrating and said, "Wait, honey, we need to sit down and talk because I don't like the way things are happening here." Like, or was it you came to him and said, "I really need your help"? Like, how was that where you guys got on a new page?
Oh, well, like when he would travel back and forth, sometimes. So for me, like his plight with me is like I tend to keep things to myself. It's
Mhm.
hard for me to ask
Mhm.
for help. So, but when things get overwhelming, that's when I blow up. So that's like one of the issues that, he has with me, and he's been, trying to
Mhm.
get me to be more expressive. So it's like I'm still working on it.
Okay,
So I'm
and
still
that's
trying to,
good.
yeah, so he has to like pull things out of me. So yeah, so
Mhm.
like I would say things here and there, like, I'm stressed, and you know or sometimes like I'm short tempered, like I'm like really irritable.
Not you, Sparkle. Not
Yeah.
you. Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love the
sometimes I get a
honesty.
little snappy.
Okay, a little
Yeah,
saucy.
sometimes.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
saucy
got,
Santana. And that
yeah.
Sparkle, she a little saucy Santana. Look at her.
Yes, I have it's a little, I got a little,
You got a little Brooklyn
sauce in
in
there.
you.
Your little Brooklyn will come out from
You
time to
coming out.
time. um but yeah, he can see like all it's like written all over my face.
Yeah.
There's times where I'm just quiet, not smiling, very like distant. So he knows when something is up with me. So but yeah, he does, sometimes he doesn't actually just does things.
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you
yeah.
too, Sparkle. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your confidence?
That's a good question.
Um yeah, that is a good
Come
question.
on, I told you with the questions,
It's
girl.
it's low on the scale. My confidence level is not where it used to be.
Mhm.
I would say maybe like a 4 or 5.
Okay.
It's kind of low. Um, that's another thing I've been struggling with, is my self confidence.
Mhm.
Like, I think it's because and like being a mom, like of course I don't expect my body to look the same, after having 3 kids.
Mhm.
But I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to get
Mhm.
back to the way I used to look. And I know that, I need to give myself grace. I'm like, listen, mother of 3, like, you have a new body. I need to appreciate that. But sometimes I'm just like, I just don't feel pretty a lot of
Mhm.
And I
times,
respect your honesty because there's so many women watching right
hmm
now
Yeah.
who think they're supposed to
hmm
snap back, like these
hmm
celebrities, but they need to understand these celebrities
Right.
have a living trainer and a living cook.
Exactly.
And a different level
Exactly.
bank account.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's another, that I'm also struggling with, is my
Yeah.
my self-confidence. And my husband, he always tells me like, you're so beautiful, and he's always complimenting me, and then sometimes just like, oh, you're just saying that,
Yeah.
you just, talking shit, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
well,
I don't feel it.
Yeah.
yeah, but this is the thing.
Yeah.
I think that, women are from women are from Mars and men are from Venus, or however we say it, right? Or
Yeah,
vice
whatever,
versa.
yeah.
Whatever. The pot calling the kettle, now the kettle calling the pot. But anyway, I think that women just don't understand men and vice versa.
Yeah.
And if a man is telling you
Mhm.
that you're beautiful, sometimes we got to start believing them.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Definitely.
Absolutely right.
So, but yeah, I mean, and he's with you for a reason. So,
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
How's your finances been?
Um,
And I
it's
apologize
been,
because I need for everyone to know. I don't want to know,
yeah.
how much you got in your account right now.
It's
Just
either if
is it
it's
Mhm.
stress?
manageable or is it
Is it
stressful?
stressful?
It's a little stressful,
Mhm.
with the new house. So, the budget is different. So
Mhm.
I, myself have to learn how to, you know, be more smart with money. My husband always said that, because he's the, Mr. Budget. Like, we need to
Mhm.
watch, our finances and stuff. And I'm the one out here like, oh, like, we can just go to dinner, and let's just do this. It's like,
Mhm.
why you gotta be so cheap? Like,
I know the feeling.
so yeah, so he's like, well, you need to slow down, stop going out to eat so much, stop at the Starbucks, just make the coffee at home. I'm like, but it's not the
You know what? You gonna
same.
stop with that Starbucks. Let me stop. No. Let me stop making my Starbucks.
Listen,
My white mocha or my
listen,
white chocolate mocha is the bomb.com. Anywho.
listen, listen. I'm in Starbucks like 3 times a week. I gotta stop. It's expensive. So,
So I'm glad
but
you
yeah,
mentioned that. Not to cut you up, but I'm glad you mentioned that because your social life was gonna be one of our questions. You being a
mm,
wife, you having these 3 small kids, you having, stress at your job.
mm,
Everyone wants a social life,
mm,
but obviously your social life
mm.
includes finances.
Yeah.
How has are you happy with your social life, or do you feel like you need more of a social life?
I think I definitely need more of a social life. My husband, he's been like so wonderful. Like, he, every time like I have, other friends, that live here, he's like, oh, go out and, have a good time. So like, anytime like my friends would ask, to go out, then he's like, fine. He's like, go out, do your thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
good.
yeah, but I definitely need to do like more self-care,
I was gonna ask,
things,
how's your me time?
Yeah. Yeah, going to having a spa day, or the last time I cut my hair was like almost 2 years ago. So I definitely need a haircut, you know, having never got my nails done. So, you know, like little things like that I need to,
Yes,
you know, start doing just to, you know, to feel good, you know.
definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
Okay. So is there any more questions we want to ask her?
And
Oh,
then
the
the last thing was
PCSD.
yeah, I definitely want to know about I know you had mentioned, and we can kind of glaze over it, but you had mentioned some mental health when we had did our pre-session. Um, are you
Mhm.
okay with speaking on whether or not you have any mental health history?
Mhm. Oh
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I was recently diagnosed with um depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The PTSD kind of threw me cuz I'm like PTSD. I'm like, where did my therapist get that from? So so sh- I mentioned when I had, well, actually before I had my first son, I had went through two miscarriages
Mhm.
Mm,
back to back.
Okay.
So that was like a really, really tough time in my life because, you know, at the time, I really wanted to start having a family.
yeah.
So when it finally happened, you know, the first time, you know, I was like ecstatic and excited. And then, you know, to have the miscarriage. And then I think like a month or two later, I got pregnant again, had another miscarriage. And then I also was going through something at work as well. And then, a few months after that, that's when I had, you know, my first son. So that was kind of scary time too because I was afraid of having another miscarriage. So I was praying to
Okay.
God, like,
Oh yeah, that
please
must have been like
let me carry.
every week you must have been on your pins and needles.
Yeah, on edge for like 3 months. I'm just like, oh God, please don't let this happen again. So when I first heard the heartbeat, oh my God, I like cried. My mom was with me. I'm like, oh my God, I cried. I'm like getting emotional right now just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was just so happy and just so relieved that okay, I'm finally having a successful uh
Pregnancy.
pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I had developed preeclampsia. So my son came at 34 weeks premature.
Mhm.
And that was that was a very traumatic time. I was in the hospital for like a week. I was drugged up with magnesium because my blood pressure was like through the roof.
Right.
Mhm.
So they had to schedule an emergency C-section because, you know, preeclampsia is, you know, very dangerous.
Right.
So they had to get him out. Um, I had to have blood transfusion. It was
So you went
just
through a
a
lot.
really, really rough time.
How was the other two
That
pregnancies? How was it?
the other two was fine. Yeah, the other two was fine. With my second one, I didn't have any issues. My third one, no issues. I did have postpartum preeclampsia with my third one, so I
Okay.
ended up back in the hospital 2 weeks after giving birth.
Was there a lot of chaos
So,
in your life at the time when you were pregnant with that child?
Which one? The first one?
which one?
The first child, the one where you had the preeclampsia during pregnancy.
Um, I'm trying to remember. Right before I got pregnant with the third time, yeah, with the whole miscarriage, there was like drama that was going on at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you definitely have a lot of moving parts that are going on
Mhm.
which is okay because I mean this is life and
Hmm.
this is what life is all about. But we have to
Hmm.
dissect it, right? And,
Okay.
the main
Hmm.
thing that we wanted to focus on was obviously you wanted to be able to understand where your career path was going to move, correct? And,
Hmm. Yes.
and, understanding where, you can kind of fit in your creativity at some point
Hmm.
and having the courage to
Hmm.
kind of step out and moving forward into your creativity, correct?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
But the way shadow work,
Well, before you go to that, we wanted to know what is your goal? What's your goals for 5 years? Like in 5 years, where do you see yourself, or where would you like to see yourself?
So Either going back into the graphic design field, where I got my degree from, either going back to studying that or having a career in graphic design in that field, or starting my own business.
Okay. And then where do you see yourself in
Yeah.
1 year?
I do see myself at least restarting my business, because I do have a business, but it hasn't been active. So I want to revamp that business.
And just out of curiosity, have you started anything with that 1 year plan, or you're still at a standstill?
I'm still kind of at a standstill, because with starting a business, need funds. So with my finances is very limited. So because I need to get like inventory, start websites, things like that, which takes money to do that. So that's kind of like holding me a little bit. I mean, I did start looking for like grants, to see what grants are out there where I can like get in some type of
Okay.
money to finance the things that I need.
So Sparkle, what I
But
love about your story is that you are like the average person.
Yeah.
There's nothing different from you
Yeah.
compared to a lot of people out there that are suffering or just going through obstacles in their life.
Yeah.
So again, I congratulate you for even being transparent on this show and even on your social media page,
Yeah.
because you're going to help so many people, because there's a lot of people that stand still, and even there's a lot of people that want to own a business. So what we're Janine and I going to do now that we gather some information from you, we're going to move into a different direction and start peeling back some layers with you.
Yeah, we gotta break this down a little
Yes.
bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So first and foremost, we had picked up on a lot of stuff, like I said, just based off of the initial conversation from you, and you're actually confirming a lot of stuff that we picked up on.
Definitely.
So, first and foremost, I want to talk about your perception of yourself. And I know that you had mentioned that just based off of how even your husband tells you that you're beautiful. Let's just talk about that for a minute. And you said that you were having some issues with your own self confidence. And I just want to know where in your childhood do you think that somebody made you feel like you weren't good enough? Like let's start with, how was your relationship first and foremost with your mother and your father? How was that? You seem like you were daddy's little girl, because he named you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I feel like I had a good relationship with my parents, even though they weren't really affectionate. They weren't the affectionate type parents. They showed their love in other ways by, giving, me and my siblings things. That's how they would, show their love. But growing up, my relationship with my parents, I think it was a good relationship. With my mom, though, I guess this is probably what a lot of teenagers go through. I did bump heads with my mom a
Yeah.
lot
mother.
as a teenager. Yeah, we bumped heads a lot. I think our relationship has gotten stronger, and I think we grew closer once I moved out of my parents' home. I think that's when me and my mom started to get a little closer.
Okay.
And then right now, like me and my mom, I feel like we're close. Like we talk on the phone every day.
Yeah.
Like so but yeah, I think right now, like my relationship is good with my parents.
Your siblings, you mentioned siblings. How many siblings you have?
So I have a brother and a sister.
What number are you?
So I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay. That also explains.
Yes, it does.
The oldest always gets it. Like
They do. They get shitted on.
Yes. The youngest one, by the time the youngest one come in, they just come skating through and you be mad at them.
Skating. Listen, my sister, oh my God, like she get away with murder. I'm getting on my parents. I'm like, I'm like, me and my brother didn't get away with this when we were that age, and my mom does
Exactly.
everything for my sister.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah.
and
oh my
you had to
God,
do
like,
everything. You had to do the chores. You had to make sure that you had to abide by all the rules, and of course, you were trying to break
mm-hmm.
some of them, and then you probably got your ass whooped
Yep.
because you grew up in
Oh
the
yeah.
70s and 80s, so
And
it was
mind you,
legal
Mm-hmm.
back then.
you had to take care of everybody else around you, like you were the second parent.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, yes. We know that pain.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But you have to
Yes.
understand, like, that type of setup, right? That type of setup, being the
Mm-hmm.
oldest child, we
Mm-hmm.
everything is about perceptions, right? So
Yeah.
you think that
Mm-hmm.
you were the one that, like I said, you were the one that was shitted on, and you got the
Mm-hmm.
short end of the stick. But I guarantee you, your
Mm-hmm.
siblings probably have their own say so about how they
Their
feel,
own.
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
and it's not to take away from your own story, because we all have our own story,
Mm-hmm.
right? But our
Mm-hmm.
own story is what creates who we are.
Right.
I wanna give you a little hint. So, one of the things
Mm-hmm.
about the 2 of us is we teach people about the purpose, and one of your purposes, like, you came back with a list on this earth of things to work on,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
one of the things you have to work on, and if you don't work on it now,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be dealing with this in your 80s,
Mhm.
is how to love.
Yep.
How to love, but what
Mm-hmm.
does she need to do before she's learn how to
Mm-hmm.
love others?
You have to learn how to love yourself.
Mhm.
Nothing in your life is gonna change. That's why there's so much chaos in your life.
Yeah.
We're kinda jumping ship, but nothing, that chaos that exists in your house is because of you.
Yeah.
It's coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You have to control that chaos through self-love, and it's
Mhm.
actually negative attachment, and I hate to tell you that.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
It's negative attachment.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So
Oh wow.
we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that
Okay.
for you. You got a lot of work to do when it comes to
Mhm.
certain things. And to be honest with you, this isn't gonna happen
Overnight.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just so you
Mm-hmm.
know, we're gonna offer you some free ongoing intuitive life coaching if you're willing to move forward with that. Especially because you were brave enough to come forward and help other people in this process.
Mhm. Definitely.
So, but just know that loving is the most important thing, most important life lesson that you need to learn in this earthly realm is about love.
What is your line you say at the end of every show?
That God is love, love is the highest frequency, and you gotta find the God within yourself.
Mhm.
All right?
One of the things that we
Yes.
do, and like Janine said, we're going to give you some more counseling after the show, because it's
Okay.
going to take some weeks.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
self love.
Yeah.
In order to have self love, you have to start from scratch. You have to press the reset button with
You
yourself.
do.
So most people, when they wake up in the morning, when they get on that toilet, they start thinking negative thoughts. They start talking about, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, look at my fat stomach. Oh god, I gotta go to work." Oh, like,
Oh.
they have a laundry
Yeah.
list of stuff that they are saying on that toilet,
Yeah.
and you are
Mm-hmm.
literally predicting your day.
You are.
You're telling yourself, "I'm gonna have a terrible day," and you're also telling yourself, "I don't love you," and that you need to get your shit together. Like, you're sabotaging yourself.
You are.
So one
Yeah.
of the things that we train people is you have to fake it till you make it. You have to, when you sit on that toilet,
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself, "I love you.
Mhm.
I'm so
Mm-hmm.
grateful to be me. Oh, I got these 3 beautiful kids. There's people out there that can't have
Mm-hmm.
kids."
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
anything you say negative, "Oh my god, my middle one, he's full of energy. Thank God he has that. He could have been mentally challenged." Like, you have to, every
Right.
problem
Right.
you have to switch it. And that's part of self-love,
Mm-hmm.
and you start, appreciating who you are.
Yeah.
"Oh my god, my hair's grown so
Mm.
long," instead of saying, "I need to get my hair cut. I don't have no money to I don't have no time to get my hair cut." You start switching everything and look at the positive.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
have hair on your head.
You got this beautiful hair, girl.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, cut it off so I can make a wig,
Make a
okay?
little wig, boo.
Down some edges. Okay?
But everything that is going on in your life, this is how you start self-loving yourself.
Yeah.
You have to
Right.
brainwash yourself, and it's not even brainwashing
Yeah.
yourself, because when you really look at
Mm-hmm.
think about what I'm telling you, I'm absolutely right.
Yes.
You're blessed and highly
Yes.
favored.
Yeah.
And then before you go to
Yes.
bed, you say some positive stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had a
Mm.
wonderful day, and lie to yourself. You could have had a shitty day. Thank God I got through that
Mhm.
storm.
Yeah.
God is so good.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to
Right.
just flip everything
You
and
do.
look at it positive, and what you're doing after a while, you're gonna find after doing that for at least 30 days, you're gonna start believing it.
You
Mhm.
are. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's all about
Mhm.
reprogramming your subconscious
Yes.
mind
Okay.
Yes.
because
Right.
you have to show the you have to show gratitude. Show God that you're grateful for the things around you,
Mhm.
and He'll start giving you
Mhm.
more.
Yes.
Giving you more
Yes.
Mm.
positivity is the law of attraction.
Yep. If you can't
Right.
appreciate what you have now,
Yep. He's
he's
not
not
gonna
gonna give
give
you
it to you.
more. He's
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my God, Sparkle, she
Absolutely.
asking for a whole bunch of stuff, but she can't even look at the stuff she have and appreciate what she has." So
Right. Right.
it's so simple, and people don't really understand
Mhm.
how simple it is.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Right.
when you start
Absolutely right.
so, being that I brought up the fact that there's a lot of chaos in your house, 'cause that was one thing that we also had picked
Mhm.
up on, you have to recreate a sense of balance around you. So we talked about the self. So I wanna give you a couple tools. So just so you
Okay.
know, when you jot this down later, you don't have to do it right now, but just make
Mhm.
sure and if you're open to it, I don't ever wanna force spirituality on anybody, but for
Mhm.
those that are watching and listening and are open to it, I want you to, try to get a couple of stones. I want you to do some stone work if you're open. Try to get some black obsidian. Black
Mhm.
obsidian will help
Mhm.
to remove some of the negative energy and
Mhm.
crystal, quartz. I want you to get crystal quartz,
Okay.
clear quartz, to help
Okay.
bring some purity and light around you, okay? Carry it small piece. You don't
Okay.
need anything
Mhm.
big, but that will help to
Mhm.
balance the energy around you. I'm sure you've seen
Okay.
sage. I'm sure you know what sage is
Yes.
or Palo
Mhm.
Santo. Palo Santo is even
Mhm.
better. Grab some of that when your
Okay.
husband's not home so he doesn't think you're crazy. Just light it up and just, take Palo Santo or sage and then just
Okay.
smoke your house out. Leave the windows
Okay.
cracked so you can start moving and, the energy get better energy flow
Energy.
throughout the home and make
Yes.
sure the lights are open. You do have good lighting in your house, which I
Okay.
see, but get that energy and that wind moving through your home, okay?
And anything that you're
Okay.
utilizing, you have to pray with intent. So when you
Intention.
hold your crystals,
Mhm.
pray over the crystals
Mhm.
and tell the universe, tell God which the intentions are for these crystals. When you light the sage and the palo santos, that as well. And the good thing with anything, everything that we're mentioning, you can look online at the purpose and how to pray over it. So
Exactly.
even we would mention candle
Okay.
work, she can just get a
Yeah,
simple candle.
candles.
I mean, I know you got 3 small kids, so I ask you if you light a
Mhm.
candle in your home, and also too, when you have your candle, put your hand on the top and bottom, and you pray and tell, God what the intention for that candle. I would suggest, you mentioned what kind of candles she should
A
get
black
for.
candle. I want you to get 3 black candles,
Mhm.
okay?
Okay.
3 black candles. You can get the tall votive ones, but if you think that is your
Mhm.
husband's gonna think that you're crazy, it's okay, we respect
Uh,
it. Just get any color black candle with scented ones,
okay.
and then
Okay.
pray over it with
Mhm.
intention, and light
Okay.
one at a time until it burns completely. It can take weeks, it can take months, I don't care. But,
Mhm.
like, one at a time, and then the
Okay.
prayer on the candle is you're telling it to please remove the chaos and the negativity from your
Yes.
space, from your home, and from your heart, okay?
Okay.
As each one burns out until you get to the last one, then I want you to switch to white candles. You're gonna do 3,
Mm.
okay?
Okay.
And then the
Okay.
3 white candles, you will pray with intention. Again, if
Mhm.
you wanna do
Mhm.
scented ones, it's perfectly fine. And your intent
Mhm.
is ask God to please instill, love and light into your space, into your home, okay? Then I want
Okay.
you to the last stone I want you to grab is a rose quartz, and don't worry, we'll go over it with you again.
Yes.
Grab
Mhm.
a
Okay.
rose quartz, and rose quartz represents love, and that's the self-love
Mhm.
that I want you to start to projecting back into yourself and back into your home, okay?
Okay.
Mm.
I'll do that.
One of the things, you need to understand is that everything we just mentioned won't work unless you believe in
Believe in
it,
it.
and
Believe
that
it.
you
Mhm.
have to know that you are supposed to win. So you're not here
Mhm.
to God didn't send you here to fail. So with all of this that we're talking about, know that this is going to work and that you have the ability to, you're the master of your universe. Just remember that.
Mhm.
So, and you are the master of your household. One of the things that people must
Mhm.
understand is that your thoughts, it's scientific that your thoughts permeate into the atmosphere and you can change the energy in a room just off of your thoughts. Have you ever been in a room and someone
Mm.
walk in and they just bring this energy with them? What, you know, it could
Energy.
be very
Mhm.
negative and heavy. And when they walk out, you're like, oh
Yes.
my God.
Yep.
So you could be that
Mhm.
person. You could be walking into your house bringing that negative energy,
Yes.
Bringing
your
that, yeah.
thoughts, and you know, oh God, that permeates the whole house. And now your family's feeling it, and then it trickles to your husband and to your
Mhm.
kids. Vice versa. It's not just
Mhm.
it's your husband too.
Yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
to also work on your marriage. One of the things that we were told from the other side is that you have to learn how to speak up.
Yep. We were told that.
You need to learn how to speak up, and you mentioned it yourself because you said he said,
You said it.
you need to, if there's something going on and you have a
Mhm.
tendency to stay quiet. I've been married
Mhm.
for approximately 27 years. No marriage is
Mhm.
perfect. I'm gonna say it again. No marriage is perfect. I'm gonna say it a third time. No marriage is perfect.
Did you hear?
So
Mhm.
Okay.
I heard.
saying that to say that you have things to work on and he has things to work on. If it can't just be you are the problem and he's not.
Mhm.
Both of you have issues.
Mm.
Now, the thing is,
Mhm.
because you don't like to speak up, that creates things to fester and fester.
Yes.
And we as women have
Yes.
a tendency,
Yes.
something could have happened last December and we will hold
Oh.
on to it and it will
Yes.
permeate in our thoughts. Now the thoughts, I'm angry at you for what you did in December. Now the energy in the room is hot and heavy, and he don't even know you mad at him from something he did in December because you keep holding on, and it becomes like a storm and
Yeah.
a big ball. Like so, you have to learn how to start speaking
Yeah.
up. And what that will do is
Mhm.
open the communication between you and him. Because trust me, he probably
Mhm.
has a laundry list of things he has, issues he has with you. So
Yeah.
you guys need to
Mhm. He sure
lovingly
does.
come to the table and talk to each
Mhm.
other. They don't have to be all at once, because
Yeah.
then I think you guys will
Yeah.
get a divorce. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just
Yes.
But
little by little.
but let's dig into the speaking up real quick.
Yes.
Let's go
Okay.
back to your
Mhm.
childhood.
Mhm.
Who stole your voice from
Mhm.
you? Where in your childhood did you feel like you weren't able to speak up for yourself? Something happened. Something happened. And I need you to find it for me.
I'm trying to think, because I mean, I've always been quiet and an introvert. Um, and my dad, he's been because my dad, he's Caribbean. My grandfather, he's from Guyana. My grandmother's, she's Trinidadian. So like that type of household is like really strict.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
We were talking
yeah.
about that this morning with me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this from what I know
Mhm.
culturally. So your
Mhm.
mother was probably more submissive and your father was probably a little bit more aggressive. And I don't mean it from a
Mhm.
standpoint of male dominance versus feminine submissiveness.
Mhm.
I think it's more of a
Mhm.
cultural thing that was
Mhm.
happening there. And I think you're used to
Mhm.
not speaking up because you saw your mother do it. That's what I'm
Mhm.
picking up on. So I think that
Mhm.
you are used to just seeing the aspect of the woman not
Yeah.
having a voice. Am I correct in that?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and I can understand that because I don't want you to not live in your cultural beliefs. However, you need
Mhm.
to understand how it's affecting you mentally.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. And
Gotcha.
sometimes there's a way to say things that's not
Mhm.
disrespectful
Mhm.
because what's
Mhm.
happening is you're actually balling that energy up
Yes.
and it's coming out like a
Yeah.
demon. It's coming out aggressive and mean.
And
Mhm.
you may not physically be doing it, but
Mhm.
mentally it's
Mhm.
No, she is because she said that she comes out, she's
oh,
snappy.
she's Saucy
She's
Santana. That's
Susie
right.
Santana.
Yeah, she is Saucy Santana.
Yeah, like when I get overwhelmed and when everything just, comes to a head, I
Yeah.
I I blow up.
Yeah.
So,
So you have
yeah.
to control
Mhm.
that. And again, that's
Yeah.
part of the imbalance that happens in your life too, and not controlling the
Mhm.
chaos. And you can control that. I have so
Mhm.
much faith in you,
Mhm.
it's disgusting. Okay. So I know that once you get to the core, see, awareness is everything. And now that you
Right.
are aware of where these things are actually coming from, when they happen and when these triggers happen, then you can stop yourself and say, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is because of such and such. Let me retract. Let me rewind. And let's do this again. And then it also gives you more power to even apologize in the moment.
Definitely.
Because what happens is, you know, a lot of times you like to blame the other person for triggering you when you don't realize that you might have just been the trigger. Okay. You might have been the one that caused all of it. So, and it's okay to humble yourself and say, I'm sorry. All right. So, and women love to blame the man. I love doing that.
Oh yeah.
It's always your fault. Okay.
So one of the things I also want to tell you is that the best thing to do while you're trying to press the reset button and work on your self-love and all of these tools that we're giving you, let your husband know what you're doing.
Yeah. Involve him in the
really
process.
important to make an announcement. Like I had to tell my husband I'm doing a positive campaign. So I even made it where we couldn't speak anything negative, and anything negative came out of his mouth about me or me to him. It got to the point where he actually took my idea and stole it. So when I said something negative, positive, we said we doing positive.
That bastard.
So you have to make that announcement with your husband. And I mean, your kids are too small, but my kids are older. So I even let my children know that I'm on a positive campaign and this is what we're doing. Because you have to work as a team. And he might be, he's going to become a little asshole at times. Because when you start bringing in Saucy Santana, I thought you was doing that positive. What happened with that? I'm just getting a little warning. Also, Janine and I would delve more into this, especially when it comes down to your job. You must understand that Earth is a school.
Yeah.
Earth is a game.
Yep.
So and one of the things they talked about, and we're going to talk about with you, is patience. But if you are supposed to learn how to have patience, God doesn't hand you patience on a silver platter. If you are supposed to conquer speaking up, he doesn't hand it to you on a silver platter. What he's going to do is put you in situations where you have to learn, where you have to execute speaking up.
Yep.
And God will continue giving these scenarios until you pass the test. I swear to God. And it's very cryptic, and a lot of people do not understand that. You are being tested.
Wow.
There's no failing grade until you go to the other side and then they tally up your score. But while you're here, that's why people, when someone who dies in their 90s, they had ample time to get it right. So that's what the point I'm trying to make to you is, look at every scenario that you're put in, every storm, as part of your test and part of your game. And say, you know what? I see what this is. I'm going to calm myself down. He's getting on my nerves. Remember, we said we're going to press the reset button and go from there.
And then remember, too, that when you start changing yourself, he will automatically follow suit. You can't change the other person. You cannot change the other person, but you can change yourself.
Yes.
And then as you change yourself, that other person will eventually start to follow suit. They'll have no choice.
Yeah.
Because you're changing the energy.
You know what I like about what we do is a lot of times when we counsel people, we make them look at themselves in the mirror instead of letting them point the finger at everyone else. Because in order for change to happen, you got to fix yourself up.
Yep.
And like you said, because when you fix yourself up, then people will start reacting to your energy. So you're very powerful as a mother in that house. And like Janine said, you're bringing this negative energy in there and you have to clean it out.
Yeah.
So that's what we make my clients do, is if you really, we make you look at what part you played in everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
Yeah. How you feeling so far? We're summing this up soon, but how you feeling so far, Sparkle?
No, I feel good, and I just love all the tools that you've given me. So I'm definitely going to put that into practice.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm sorry not to cut you off, but is it some of this stuff like, oh my God, I didn't look at it from this angle? Like, are you feeling like that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
It's just gave me like a whole new perspective on
love
things.
It.
Perfect.
Because that's what we do, baby.
Now we need to address the whole thing with her job.
We will. I just wanted to say this too, because when we did our pre-interview, you had mentioned that you were seeing angelic numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So tell me, what numbers were you seeing?
So for a long time, and I'm still seeing this number like basically on a daily basis, I've been seeing 911.
Girl.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I'm just like, what?
Someone
Like,
please
what is
call
God telling me?
911.
Yes.
Code
Yes.
10, baby.
Yes.
So let me tell you,
Yes.
I think this is some crazy shit. So if y'all don't believe in the other side and
Yes.
angelic teams, baby, then I
Mhm.
don't know what to tell you. You might as well just go crawl under a rock or something, because this is crazy. So your angelic team has been showing you 911 for a minute. So
Yes.
that's like code 10. Wake up. Literally, that's what it means. So the number 9 simply signifies that you are coming near an end of a cycle, okay? And
Mhm.
the number 11 is like, pay attention, pay attention. We're trying to reach you. Pay attention, pay attention.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
ironically, you found the twin flames.
So you
Well,
were, yes. we found her because
yeah, we found no, technically her spiritual team led her to us.
It definitely,
And
because you were like, you said to me, you was like, this lady right here, we need
Right.
to yeah, definitely.
But
That's so crazy.
so, we with that being said, the numbers 9, 11 are definitely a smoke signal. And your spiritual team was trying to reach you, and in the height of a lot of chaos in your life, that's usually just you going through what's called the dark night of the soul, which is a spiritual term that some spiritualists will use when you are really going through something dark and heavy. And it just means that it's time to start paying attention to the things that are going around you, because there's some things that may be complex, and the shifts happening, right? And you're actually going through a shift. And the shifts don't have to be bad. A lot of times when people have negativity in life, we think that it's bad, but we don't have to look at it that way. We have to change the perspective of these things. So for you, and this is why you're going through this process, you have to change the perspective of it, because now it's a healing process, and it's time for you to wake up and start the healing.
And one of the things that your team kept telling us is that you know most of the answers.
You do.
You just been ignoring them
the whole time.
A lot of this stuff is not, even though this is like, we revealing some stuff, you know most of these answers. You just been throwing them in the garbage. So that's why 911 is like, they be like, bitch.
Like,
you admit it, like,
wake up.
If I was your spiritual team, I would want them. When she get back here, we want to because she's like, nah, that's not it. Nah, that's not it. And they told us like
no,
walking to her, and she knows all the answers. So, but I have like a little aha moment. I was gonna wait till like the very end. We're almost close to the end, but I wanna say something to you, and it's kind of equivalent to being in a dream. You ever watch a movie where the person go through all of this stuff, and then at the very end they wake up and it was like it was a dream? So for you, I need you to understand that you being on social media and you sharing everything that you've been going through, you being on this show was already pre-planned.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna give you a wand. I'm gonna take my wand and tap you. You're a light worker.
Yep.
You're a light worker because you are taking the pain that you've been given and you made it into a gift for the
other
world.
people. Yep.
So, and most light workers have to go through pain and tragedy in order to help others. That's the rule. Like anybody that signs up to be a light worker, and 90% of the time, people who come down here as light workers already know that they're going to have tragedy. So you more than likely you signed up before you came down here. And with that being said, now that you know that you're a light worker, it's like a dream, because now you know that you went through all of this to help the greater good.
Yeah.
Because you can have a perfect life and be a millionaire on a yacht drinking martinis and be on social media talking about your pain. It wouldn't have worked like that.
Yeah.
So that's what happened here. So congratulations. You're up now, you're waking up, and now you can work through the steps. And then if you
Yes.
feel comfortable with it, you can go on social media and let people
share your
and share
story.
your steps that you are doing. Even I mean, I don't know how you feel about showing people the candle you light, and I mean, like, that's up to you. and,
Yeah.
and let them know.
Let them know.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Right.
yeah.
So let's circle
Oh,
it back.
wow.
Let's circle it back to
Mhm.
your job because
Oh
this is
yeah.
what you
Yeah.
came here for in the first place. And
Mhm.
so with in the midst of all the chaos that you're going through, this is what Kisha and I have surmised.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I know that you have a lot of different things going on in the household. And then you
Mhm.
had expressed that number one, you had a different career choice and then ended up
Mhm.
landing into something completely different as an occupation, right?
Mhm.
So what happens is that the universe cycles and it just moves.
Mm-hmm.
It just moves and it doesn't stop for us, right?
Mhm.
And a lot of times if we aren't there mentally, we're in the midst of how time moves, then we kind of miss the boat with time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what I'm saying to you is that your time shifted, your timeline shifted. So you
And that's
chose,
okay.
and it is okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you chose
Okay.
to have children and pursue family instead of focusing on your career, which is what
Mhm.
diverted your timeline shift. All right. And
Okay.
as a result, a piece of you still wants to hold on to what your purpose is, and you
Mhm.
don't know how to get back there. But you have to wait
Mhm.
for time to realign again.
Yes.
So what we're
Okay.
going to stress to you is that if you don't focus on what's happening in front of you right now, the chaos will continue.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to
Okay.
you?
Yes. Mhm.
So
Yes,
this is
definitely.
why we actually really stress the importance of having gratitude in your
Mm-hmm.
life
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
appreciating everything around you. All of this is a process of mindfulness. And
Mhm.
we want you to practice mindfulness a little bit more, staying in the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
appreciating your
Mm.
children, being a mom,
Mhm.
Yes.
sharing these stories on social media so other people can appreciate it. And watch how God actually changes things for you because I guarantee you, you're going to get
Mhm.
people who actually can relate. All right.
Definitely.
Um,
Mhm.
being present with your husband, sharing more moments with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Making time for yourself. All right.
Yes.
Appreciating
Mhm.
yourself and doing the healing. And then watch how
Mhm.
everything in the energy flow starts to change within your household. Once you get
Mhm.
that in order and balance everything, your timeline will eventually start to match up
To your
and
goals.
to your goals. Yep. And
And
then you'll
Okay.
see when it'll be like a clock, it'll be like click, and then the timeline will match
Mhm.
up once again, and it'll be time for you to move forward into your purpose.
also to mention how at work,
Okay.
well, I could mention this. At work, whatever problems you're having at your job, I'm
Mhm.
getting a little sense of speaking up to at your job.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
whatever issues you're having at your job, I need you to understand you can get 2 more jobs in the next 2 years and you'll have the same exact problems. So just like how I
Mhm.
mentioned to you, this is a game and this is a school. If you don't
Mhm.
master the chapter
Mhm.
at work, then you can escape and run, and then you'll be back in the same chapter at a new job. Or in the beginning, be nice
Mhm.
and happy and go, "Oh, I'm away from that," but then you'll have the same problems
Same
again, and
problem.
you're like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute, this is same problems, different characters."
Yeah.
So you have
Right.
you have to conquer whatever issues you're having at your job, whether it's
Mhm.
speaking up or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and that's
Mhm.
part of the timeline matching up too.
Exactly, because, I think you had mentioned you're in leadership, correct? You're a
Yes, I'm a
manager?
manager.
Okay. So
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
that being said, I'm a manager too. I understand what that's like being able to manage a team, and you have to be able to speak
Mhm.
up, and
Mhm.
you have to,
Yeah.
have, emotional intelligence and awareness, and I
Mm.
want you to focus on your leadership skills, okay?
Mhm.
Because that
Okay.
is also about managing the chaos around
Mhm.
you, all right?
Uh,
So work on that.
got you.
Work
Mhm.
on that. When you can balance those things, that'll teach you tools about not only leadership within your job aspect. It'll teach you leadership and management skills within your home. And then it also teaches you business skills that you can utilize when you become independent.
Yes.
Okay?
Makes sense.
All right. This is all about balance, baby. It's all about you.
Yes.
And one of the things about God and the universe, I need everyone to understand when we say universe, we're talking about God and your angels and all of that. Until you master everything that we're talking about, you won't be able to move forward into your purpose.
Yeah.
You won't. I'm going to give you an analogy, and this is for everyone.
Okay.
Everyone. Treat your life like a garden. So when you decide, okay, I'm ready to press the reset button, your garden, you have to look at it. It's full of weeds. It's full of dead flowers. It's full of blooming flowers. You have to pick up that soil, take out all the old soil, take out all the weeds, replant the good plants, get rid of the dead plants, and then you can start planting seeds.
Yeah.
The problem with most human beings on this planet, they'll look at this fucked up garden, excuse my French, take the new seeds and plant them on top of the whole, like, how you starting fresh?
Yeah.
You can't even deal with what you have going on right here.
Yeah.
And that's what Janine is trying to say when it comes down to the boat coming back eventually.
Yeah.
The boat will come back eventually, but you got to clean up all that garbage, mama.
Exactly.
Because you know, God is not going to give you more than you can handle. So just even down to the littlest things as being a mom, being a good husband, good wife.
Yeah.
All of those aspects of
Plays
who
a part.
Sparkle is plays a huge part in you being able to have your 1-year goal and your 5-year goal.
Exactly.
So,
and this goes out to all the millennials, all the Gen Zers, because there's a lot of you guys that want to be business owners and you can't even manage your own life.
Yes.
So please, I'm trying to tell you, start with the small aspects of yourself. So that way you can learn the tools and become something greater and manage your own businesses.
Definitely.
So
yeah, and I need for everyone to understand is that many of you are sitting here right now, and for days you've been wanting to press the reset button, and you won't because you don't know how. Treat it like a hair appointment. Treat it like a nail appointment. Say, okay, on April 1st, I'm going to start X, Y, and come up with a plan. Get a book and start writing down the things that you can do in order, like map it out and what's most important, what's least important.
Yeah.
Because what happens is everyone looks at this resetting as a mountain. And they're like, oh my God, how am I going to take down this mountain? You got to chip away at it. So all of the things, everything we said to you is a lot.
It is.
It's a lot. But you start with you start in lane 1 and then go to lane 2. And the first lane is, guess what? What's the first lane?
Yourself.
Well,
me, yeah.
So you got to clean you up.
Clean you up.
I got to clean myself up first.
That's it. So how you feeling?
Yes, I feel good. Like everything you've just said, like makes a lot of sense. Like, and what stood out to me is like being present, like being in the moment. And like, I realized I haven't been present or just enjoying the moment. I'm just so worried about what's going to happen in the future.
Exactly.
And I'm not enjoying, my kids and my husband.
And I'm going to tell you, that's where the anxiety is coming from.
Yes.
The anxiety is coming from you thinking too far ahead.
Yes.
And that's and unfortunately, I know a lot of people pay for therapy, but they don't tell you that that's what it is. That's where karma actually stems from. When you think too far ahead into the future, or you're thinking about things from the past, and it boils up and it festers and it develops into mental illness, which is anxiety and or depression. So that's what's happening with you, boo.
And I'm glad you said karma because I need you to understand you must forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Anything that Sparkle has done that made Sparkle feel like, oh, if you did this, you shoulda, coulda, woulda, excuse my French, throw that shit in the garbage.
Yep.
Enough. Stop beating up on yourself.
Stop.
One of the things that they said to me, and they're screaming at me right now because they said it to me in the shower about you, and I need to stress this to you. They said that you're a emotional vacuum. They said that, and I'm gonna tell you what emotional vacuum is. And they screaming at me. You, wherever you go, whatever energy that, like, if somebody's having a bad day, you're soaking that up. And that's the anxiety too. Your kids are having a bad day, you're soaking all of it. Your man is not having a good day and he has an attitude. You internalize everything, even at work, you're internalizing when people are giving you attitude. And when you're in leadership, you're going to have attitude. You're going to have people having attitude with you.
Mm-hmm.
They said to me, and they just threw this like emotional vacuum. So you suck up all the bad energy, and then you internalize it, and then you're that.
Yes. Oh my God, that is so true. Oh my God.
They were like, "Don't forget."
Boo!
Oh my God.
That's what we do, boo.
Wow, that is so true. Oh my God.
So you saw C. Santana, you got some work.
Yes.
Got some work to do.
Yes. I
But
got work to do.
I love this because many people have the same exact problem.
Yeah.
So you're not in this by yourself.
Yeah.
And what you're going to do, you're going to take the torch, and on your platform, you're going to teach people how to work through their problems, because you're going to be actively working through your problems
and, you know,
showing them how to do it.
And you know what we call that? You know what we call that? I know you don't know. We're going to tell you anyway.
What?
We call that the twin flame effect, baby.
Yeah.
Twin flame
effect, baby. Because we was one soul, and we came back and we broke up into two. Now we turn it into three. Now we turn it into millions. And we helping many people out here heal and become better and elevate and be great and live your life purpose and love, man. Because that's what this is all about.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Indeed, baby.
Ba-boom.
Ba-boom.
Oh, wow.
Twin flame, baby. Twin flame. Sparkle, man. We can't thank you enough for coming on the show. How you feeling, mama?
Oh, thank you so much. This was so enlightening. So I'm ready to heal. So
good. And we're ready for you to heal too. Indeed.
Thank you.
Tell everybody, if you're okay with it, tell everybody your social media handle. Because when you start creating, man, we need some followers coming your way so they can hear what's up. What's your social media?
Yes. So TikTok, also Instagram, Glow with Sparkle.
Let's go. Glow with Sparkle.
And I need to say something, and we should have said this in the beginning.
Yeah.
If you know who we are, if you've seen us a couple times, please press that subscribe button right down there. Subscribe, and please share our video, because many people like Sparkle need this gift that we have. And if you're willing to come on and share your story and go through the same process that Sparkle did, hit us up, because we're coming through lovingly. And like we said, if there's anything that you don't want to share, we're not going to share it. And like we said, we have some more messages for you, and we'll give that to you when we have a follow-up meeting with you.
That's right. Yeah. We're gonna
sounds
talk to you.
good.
But definitely, you guys can message us on social media. We are Truth Be Told Conversations on TikTok across the board, baby. Or you can email us at uplifthealingcenter.com. info@uplifthealingcenter.com.
Oh,
and what's up?
One more thing. So listen, we're going to be giving her some life coaching. We do virtual life coaching for our clients.
Yeah.
We have packages available.
We do.
And if you know that you need the help, please email us at
info@Uplift Healing Centers. We're in the process of reconstructing our website, but our website is going to redrop very, very soon. Y'all going to love it, because we got mindfulness courses coming up. We were talking about mindfulness, and we're going to teach everybody all about mindfulness and a bunch of great tools on top of an online store where you guys can get all of these things that we talked about on the show, including stones and Palo Santo, all these great things. You guys can purchase it right on our website.
And I'm going to put it out there right now. Anybody for the next, I'm not going to give a date, but if you're watching this in the next 4 weeks, if you feel that you want to share your story like like Sparkle did, come on the show and we'll give you a big discount on your package.
Yep. So come holla at us. And we would love to help everybody out with the healing process, because you guys don't have to do it alone, because there's so much to learn, and it's not easy. And we had to go through a lot. It's a deep inner transition, y'all. It's a deep inner transformation. And it's all intuitive. It's all intuitive, and it starts with the process of love, y'all. So just remember.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all twin flames.
We all twin flames. Oh, and we didn't get to cover it, but Sparkle, please tap into your angels through your religion.
Yeah.
They are there. So go on social media or YouTube or whatever and find out what each angel represents, all the saints, and pick the ones that resonate within you. Because they can't help you unless you tag them in.
And your name
Right,
ain't
definitely.
Sparkle for no reason,
Yeah,
girl.
Right.
Just sparkling over there.
Yes, darling.
So thank you again for being so brave. And everybody, thank you for joining us. Just remember that God is love. Love is the highest frequency. And go and find, baby, the God within you.
Mwah.